All right, so let's talk about buyer specifics and kind of dig in a little more in the current market. So obviously right now rates are super low, so you can afford more house. Maybe you can kind of talk about where rates are at
Yeah,
right
man.
now.
Yeah, I mean they're below 3% right now, and you're able to get payments probably $200 or $300 cheaper than you were about a year ago. And basically, what that's creating is buyers to have the ability to purchase more. You know, it's creating. It's a lot of a seller's market in some ways because of the lack of listings and the values
Right.
are going up. But the buyers, it's still a buyer's market because the rates are so cheap. And then the
Yep.
great thing is none of the programs have really gone away. We still have your low down payment options. We have your down payment assistance options. We have 100% financing for some people in some cases. So if you're hearing lenders or even agents out there talking about some of these programs going away, they didn't. They're still around. The banks have gotten better again, where they're more confident in the market because they realize this is more of like a 9/11 incident versus a 2008 crash kind of thing, where
Right.
we'll bounce back from it relatively quick.
Well, we actually have a deal under contract together where it was a 3% down, and we were able to look at the comps and go over on price and ask for that back because they needed concessions. So it still is possible, even though the market's super competitive and everybody's bidding over and all that. You just have to look for, as one of my mentors says all the time, the empty parking space. So they're out there. They're just harder. So as buyers, are kind of going through the motions right now with this market, don't feel beat up. Don't get discouraged. It's just the way the market is right now, and we're here to help, and we'll still make it happen. It's just you got to be a little more patient. But the opportunity, like Jason was saying, with the lower rates, you can afford more house if you do have to bid over. If you're going to upsize, because now, I mean, the big talk is I need a home office. I don't know if I'm going to be going back to the office ever, or if this happens again, I don't want to be sitting in the laundry room doing my stuff. So you can upsize too. That's a possibility.
And then one thing to elaborate on what Joe's saying is basically like, let's say you're going on a house that's $300,000 and you need seller to pay closing costs because you got just enough for that 3% down payment. Let's say you go to 305. Well, your payment only goes up by like $25 a month because the rates are so cheap. So to go up $5,000 to save $5,000 on your own pocket, or you may not have it, to only have to pay $25 a month, that's cheap math. That's really easy. And same thing if you go up $10,000, your payment's going to go up maybe by $50. It's not exact, guys, but great rule of thumb. So in a lot of cases, and back to Joe's point on this again, is if a house is listed for $300 but you need closing costs, a lot of times you're going to have to go above that price. We're being realistic with you guys. There's no going below in this market right now. You have to go above to get closing costs paid for. And somebody might jump on here and say, "Oh, I got somebody to do that." But okay, was a house listed on the market for 100 days? Okay, maybe not. It wasn't priced right to begin with. But if it's a fresh new house in the market and it's priced right, and that's why Joe's great because he comps them out before you go in there to make sure that you're purchasing things at the right amount, then you're going to have to get aggressive on your offers. You have to.
Yep.
But it's still awesome all around because you're going to have a house with a cheap payment. So when another recession comes, you're comfortable with the mortgage payment. It's easy for you.
So the other opportunities also, back to the one we were talking about where the client only put 3% down, we were able to bid over because the comp supported it going over. So myself and the seller's agent talked about that. We're both confident it'll appraise. So we're getting the closing costs back. But part of that story is the opportunity in things that are inconvenient for most buyers. So this particular seller needed like almost a 60-day close. Well, my client is flexible with their close because their lease is up later, and either way they were going to pay a fee to get out of it or whatever. So when that happens, as long as it was in their time frame, they were fine with it. So that was how we were able to find some leverage, get them the house, even though there were other people right up behind them with offers.
You found your empty parking spot.
Yep. And here's the other couple of places you can get opportunities as buyers. Although it's a seller's market, buyers are more savvy now. So if they're priced too high and they don't reduce in time to be where they need to be, the days on market accumulate and the property gets stigmatized. Those are the ones a lot of times you can go in because everybody in their brain, when they see those, they think something's wrong with it, and there very well might not be. Those are the ones you can go in and you can get the right deal, at least at asking, if not, maybe save some money depending on their situation or whatever, even in this competitive market. Or you have an agent that works for a brokerage that, they share all their coming soons, and my brokerage, I think there's about 4,500 agents across the valley. So, all those things matter and create opportunity in this competitive market.
Yeah, those are great points, guys. What we're basically trying to say is even if you're a buyer or a seller, it's a pretty great market right now.